was having an antique show in Rehoboth. What's the section called, Rehoboth?
Rehoboth by the Sea?
No.
Dewey?
No.
Henlopen Acres?
No. It's actually a town.
Lewis?
Yeah.
Lewis?
No, in Rehoboth.
A town within Rehoboth?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have to look it up for you. That one. So, we were in Rehoboth at this antique show, and we were going to go down and see Helen's father in Frankfurt.
Uh-huh.
And as we're doing that, we drive by, it is Rehoboth by the Sea, right at the north, just north of Dewey.
Yeah, where they've got these houses.
Yeah, where these little houses are all jammed in together, but we stopped in and talked to the people.
Was it like a model home?
There were lots of them being built in there, or had been built.
Okay.
But there's an office, which I guess was in a model home.
Yeah.
And we talked to them a little bit. And they said that there were still a few lots available in North Shores.
Oh.
North Shores of Rehoboth.
Yes.
But very few, but there were, and there was not a complete community
Uh-huh.
of these prefab homes. So, we talked to them about the general situation. They said, well, we are opening up a new location down near Bethany Beach. So they told us about it, so we were continuing on down, and we stopped in the office and we saw them in the office where the Woods house was on the corner.
On the ocean side?
Oceanside. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Fagley's house, I guess, was available.
Uh-huh.
And they were also building a patio house, which is the two houses separated by a courtyard.
Like Eileen's?
Like Eileen's
Okay.
house originally.
Yeah.
Like this house was originally. Although you wouldn't know that.
I know, and it's hard for me to even remember what it looked like way back when.
Yeah. Yeah. So we looked around a little bit, went back to Baltimore, and probably the next couple of weekends there was a sports car rally to Ocean City. So we were in that.
In your little
no,
TR3?
In the Volvo.
Oh, in the Volvo.
The 122S. And we came up here and looked around some more, and I don't know if it was just that weekend or another, but we kept thinking about this, and finally we decided. I had good reports, and I said, well, you can rent it out in the summertime, and so we figured that we were both working, we had no kids, so we figured we could afford it. We actually signed the contract in September 6th, settlement was not until the next January.
When it was finished being built.
It was completely built the first time we saw it.
This particular house was?
Yeah.
So you didn't pick out the lot and then build the house. You
No.
you built a spec home, or
Yeah.
you bought a spec
It was
home.
a spec home, yeah.
Yeah. So how much did it cost again?
The basic house was $15,000. And that did not include the land.
And how much was the land?
The land,
Or wasn't it a land lease?
it was ground rent, yeah.
Okay.
For the price of the lot was $5,000 for the first 10 years, I think it was. It might have been just 5 years.
Like a flat fee,
A flat, yeah.
ground rent, flat fee
Yeah,
of $5,000.
So after that, the price was going to go up. So before the price went up, we decided, yes, we would put the money into the land.
So what do you mean? Did you purchase the land after the how you had the option to purchase? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, when we bought the house, we had the option to purchase after 5 years.
I see. So you paid $5,000 for the land, for the half acre, a 5-minute walk to the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
and $15,000 for the 3-season prefab cottage.
Yeah, well, actually, there's an extra $365 for a heating unit.
Oh, extra $365.
No, little gas furnace.
I remember it. I mean, you can still see the cutout.
Yeah, and the electrical heating unit in the bathroom.
I remember that. And didn't that catch on fire once, or was that my...
Somebody, the first year, I guess the first year we rented it, some renter hung a towel. There was a towel rack right over it.
Mm-hmm.
So they put a towel there and turned the heater on, and it caught fire.
Oh my gosh. Thank goodness it didn't burn the place down,
Yeah.
the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There have been at least 2 places that have burned
Really?
in the 50 years that we've been here.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow. I think it's been 60 years, Dad.
Yeah,
You bought it in 1965?
yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And how much were the beach, like you said the Fegleys home was available, like how it was the same house as ours but on the beach side, so how much would have that cost?
I don't know I know the land would have cost more. I don't know if the house itself would have cost more.
Yeah, it was probably the same but just a bigger land lease.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't really want to be on the beach side. You liked the pines.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so special. It's so unique.
Yeah, well, like we said, it was 1965,
Yeah.
and that was just 3 years after the big tidal storm that wiped out everything.
The big nor'easter,
The big nor'easter.
but not the same one that took out when Mom waited tables.
Yeah,
That was the same one?
the same one.
The same storm?
Yeah.
I pictured that to be when Mom was younger.
Well, she did not work there when it was ruined.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
She worked there through a couple of hurricanes.
Okay. But the big one,
The big one was,
storm of 62.
yeah, the one that
Yeah.
changed everything.
Yeah. When it changed, what do you mean it changed everything? It just took out a lot of old houses and...
Took out a lot of old houses, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's not a lot of old houses in Bethany.
You know, the landing down there south of here,
What do you mean the landing?
where you can put in boats.
Yeah. Where we used to go canoeing.
Yeah. Well, for years, you could see where the sand had washed that far back from the ocean front.
Say that again?
For years, you could see where the sand had washed over
Over the highway.
over the highway, over the land.
Okay.
You know, it's essentially a sand dune,
Oh.
not high, but you know, a drop off.
Right, right. Huh. Yeah. It's such a neat place. I wonder why they didn't build them up higher. They weren't worried about flooding back then.
I didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah. I noticed the Fagley's house looks really good. Have you driven by that?
No.
They renovated it last year, and they've painted it like a dark blue, and they've put modern numbers. It looks really good, but it looks like it's elevated. They didn't lift it up a full story, but maybe like a half story, and then they've got a carport that comes forward. It looks good. We should drive you by there.
I had a friend, somebody I knew through the association. It's over, I don't know, Bridgewater or the next one over.
Addie.
But it's this type of house,
Uh-huh.
or this same house. And they actually raised it up one block high.
Why just one block? That seems like a lot of work.
Well, they didn't want to make it too high.
Uh-huh.
No, one block they were going to put pilings under it. It was just enough to get away from the real moist land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I say one block, it might have been 2 blocks.
Right. I was just going to say that just seems like a lot of work to lift a house up 12 inches or something. Yeah. What was I just going to ask you about over there? Well, we should drive you up and down the road so you can see the changes. But, you know, as Vanessa and I have been going to try to figure out which books we want or which houses we want in our book, there's still quite a few original looking homes. I know most of them have probably been modified on the inside.
A lot of them have been modified.
Yeah.
But there are, I think this one I told you about that was raised up. I think they had added a 3rd or 4th bedroom.
Well, tons of people have done that.
Oh, yeah.
Marty and Kate have the 4th bedroom, and the O'Maras have the 4th bedroom.
Yeah.
But
Sharon's house had a 4th.
And that was raised up the whole...
Before they raised it up.
Oh, before they raised it. So was one of the options to have the extended porch like Marty and Kate and the O'Maras now have? Or was that something everybody did later?
That was what people did later.
That was not an option to do the bump out porch?
No.
Okay. It makes, I mean...
In fact, if you look at some of the early advertisements, the porch was not even screened in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's really weird. I can't imagine it not screened in.
Well, anybody who had it probably found out it was not a good idea.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so there were 4 original designs or 5?
Oh. I think there were only just 3 originally.
So there was the atrium house like Eileen's.
Yeah.
There was this one. There was Gertrude's.
No, that was a little bit later. That was not original.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
The other one was the crow's nest.
What's the crow's nest?
it's what the Woods house was.
I wish I could remember. Who else? Was it like the Robinsons' house?
There's one on Dune Road. That's where it was the Beeson's house originally.
Oh, okay. Was that like the Robinsons' house?
No,
What, that was one of the originals, wasn't it?
no.
It wasn't?
The Robinsons is like the yellow house.
Yeah. That's why I thought they were original, because there's several
No,
of them.
It's not original.
So did different
And the
builders?
Richards house was not original. That was like 1 year after we.
So these ones that aren't original, but they have several of them around. Was that a different builder that came in
No,
and purchased lots?
No, it's the same company.
Okay, it was just later models.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Later floor plans. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would call that original then, just not the first generation, I guess.
Yeah.
And then what else were there? So there was Eileen's, which is the atrium, Gertrude's, which I don't know what to call that, the Robinsons, the Crow's Nest, which I've got to figure out. You'll have to point that out to me, and this one. And was that it?
Yeah. I don't know if they're up in Rehoboth by the sea.
Yeah.
They had a crow's nest, but it was not as big as the ones they built down here.
Oh.
No, it was really small.
Huh.
And in fact, there was another design.
Oh, well, wait a minute. The Eunice's house, Dick Eunice's house. You said that was one of the not original, but later originals.
It was early on because it was the atrium design just
But elevated.
elevated
Okay.
over cinder blocks.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what other ones. Then there's the one down, I guess that might have been like Eileen's, the yellow one where what was his name? Andrew, when I was a kid. Down on our street on the right, there's one that looks really original.
On our street?
Yeah, we used to hang out with the kids when we were really little. I think his name was Andrew.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know who I mean?
Yeah.
Was that like Eileen's house, or that one was different?
I don't know.
There's several of them around too.
Actually, when we first saw this Middlesex, there were 3 houses here. Eunice's house,
Uh-huh.
the Wolf's house,
Uh-huh.
and the Volmer's house.
Okay.
They were existing when we bought this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But they were not part of this builder. They were older.
They were not DFD.
They were older.
Yeah.
I remember the Eunice's house on the corner, this one up here. It was the ugliest house ever, but they've made it so nice now.
Yeah,
They've done a really good job.
yeah. And they've done a lot of work on it.
Yeah. They've just done so many things to make it more architecturally interesting with all their little,
Yeah.
stuff, gazebos and things.
You know what I mean by the Volmer's house, don't you?
I wish I did. I should know because I know the
That's
Volmers.
the second house back on Short Road,
On the left?
on the left.
Oh, the little bitty one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
and that was a strange little house.
Yeah. I love that it's still there.
Yeah,
They were on the beach this afternoon with Marty and Kate. I saw them
yeah, that's
in the late afternoon.
it's a builder, a lumber company had just thought the idea of developing back here, and they built those three spec houses.
Remember when up on the corner they had those model houses like back in the 80s?
Where
where the produce stand is on the corner of the highway. The sign was there until like 2 years ago. Remember they had those two, it was like an A-frame right on the highway. There were 2 model homes there.
I've forgotten about that.
How did you forget that? I remember that so well. That was like, I remember going in there one time and looking around. But that sign was there until really recently.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that was fun. Thanks for letting me interview you.
If you make sense out of it, you're doing well.
Well, you did a good thing buying this, Daddy. Good on you. Well done.
65. I'm trying to make sure if I have the year correct.
I've always said 1965.
Yeah.
I think that's right. But I thought you all had the TR3 when you bought this.
They might have still had it.
Okay.
They probably did.
I feel like I saw a picture, like a slide picture way back when, of the TR3 parked in front of this house, and it looked so cool.
I think it might have been 64 when we first looked here.
When you went under contract?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 65 when we
Settled. Yeah. Well, you've kept it really original.
Yeah, used to have some way of remembering the exact year, but that's gone.
That's okay. We know the general time.